Welcome to the Veronica's Cup here in Slovenia. This is the first of two World Archery ranking events happening today, and I'm delighted to say we'll be bringing you coverage of both of those. We begin in the beautiful town of Kamnik, and I'm Karen Bashir. Joining me is World Archery's Chris Wells. Chris, the talk of the week has been about the weather, and in particular the rain. What's it look like there today?
Yeah, when we spoke to the archers after qualification on Friday, they said it was really, really tough conditions, a lot of rain, a lot of wind. And Nico Wiener, the Austrian compound man, still managed a 7.13 in those conditions. So very impressive today, much, much nicer. Still a little bit of a breeze, but nothing to shout about, and no clouds whatsoever, looking perfect.
Yeah, beautiful shots of this picturesque town right in the heart of Slovenia. Slovenia borders, of course, with Italy. We've just got 4 gold medal matches coming up here in this picturesque town. We start with the gold medal matches for the compound men and women, and then we'll have the title matches for the recurve. And with these fine conditions, Chris, this world ranking event, how important is it?
Yeah, it's important, obviously, leading up towards the events we've got over the next couple of months. Next week, we're in Lausanne for the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup, and then there's Paris, obviously, the Olympic qualifier in June. But we haven't had events for a long time, and it takes some time for these archers to get back into the competition spirit. World ranking points, obviously, very important to maintain position, gain positions in the ranking, and this is an opportunity to do that here today.
Certainly is, and what a beautiful backdrop the archers have. I suppose a bit of a weird one for you, Chris. How important is it to have a nice bit of scenery when you're shooting?
Not important at all, but it looks lovely, doesn't it? I mean,
it does, it certainly does.
Lovely place.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's time for our first match. It's time for the compound women's gold medal match. Well, first up for compounds women gold, it will be Amanda Minalic of Croatia against Elisa Bazichetto of Italy.
Number 2 from Italy, Elisa Bazichetto. The judge in this match is Maya Shalabi. And on target number 2, Elisa will start the match.
So it'll be the Italians starting. Chris, quick one. Either of these two favourites, number 1 and 2 seeds coming through the ranking round?
Absolutely. Amanda Milnaris was the only compound woman to break 700 on the ranking round. 704, I think, off the top of my head. Second seed, obviously Elisa, but she was a long way behind Amanda Milnaris. Interestingly, most archers choose to shoot first, the higher seeds. Amanda Milnaris letting her opponent start us off in this first end.
Eight, Elisa. Nine, lineup 10, Amanda.
Well, they've got their sighters in. First arrow of this coverage.
Ten, Elisa. Amanda.
Amanda Milnaris, very impressive young archer, just 19 years old, but looks very confident and gaining confidence in the finals arena.
9, Elisa. Amanda.
Well, solid start from Minaric, a 28. Our captions say a 25, but Chris, I've got Bazichetto marked down as a 27.
Yeah, I believe so. She got closer and closer to the middle over that time. Might be a 27, might be a 26. Still trailing after this first end.
Impressive start from the Croatian, though.
And we are waiting for that one.
She's shooting well over the last couple of years. You see the judge taking a good look at that on the top left on Elisa Bazichetto's target. Amanda Milnaris, she's a couple of years ago we were in Antalya and she seeded top in the compound women's event, and that's the first we'd really heard of her. Ever since then, she's kind of been there or thereabouts, really, waiting for that big breakout event from her. She won the World Cup station, the world ranking event in Porridge, home world ranking event in March, I think it was. We're just waiting for that big result. All of these events are on that path towards that big result, I think.
Yeah, well, they're waiting in anticipation for confirmation. Clearly, that second arrow, a difficult one to measure.
It's been confirmed as a 27 on target number 2, so two-point deficit for the Italian after the first 3 arrows.
Well, let's get on with end number 2. Bazzicato on the line. Cumulative score, trailing by 2 points.
9, Elisa.
Bit of a longer hold for Milanovic, but all square, so still mini advantage for the Croatian.
10, Elisa. Ten, Amanda. Nine, Elisa.
Well, 2 going right at the start of that end for Bazzicato.
Nine, Amanda.
And they match each other through the second end. So that 2-point lead sticks with Milanovic. Chris, anything in particular about those first 2 arrows from Bazzicato, the first 2 to go to the right of that target?
No, there's no wind that we can see on the screen. All still in the background. The trees not blustering. I think it's easy to forget 50 meters away to go a little bit right into the 9 is not difficult. You have to be really on top of it to hit 10s all the time. So she needs to settle down. Needs to shoot her level and to try and come back into this one. To Milanovic, I actually expected her to start a bit faster than that. She's dropped 3 points through the first 6 arrows. She's got the potential to do better. I think she'll want to tighten things up going into the kind of stretch of this final.
Yeah, well, it's been a long wait to get back onto the competition circuit. I'm guessing that the archers are still getting used to being so close to their opponents, having had so many remote tournaments over the past 15 months. It's time to get back to the live action here and end number 3. So the young Italian, still trailing by 2 points, will shoot first in this end.
Nine, Elisa. Ten, Amanda.
And now just eking out another point lead. That's best arrow so far from Amanda Milanovic.
10, Elisa. Ten, Amanda.
It's an impressive looking target, isn't it? Just watch when Elisa comes to full draw. She takes her thumb off her trigger. She's shooting a back tension style release, and it wasn't too quick on that one. But you could see she's executing very fast.
She's finished with a 27, so a big opportunity here for Milanovic. And it's the full house for her. 30 points, taking her to 87 overall. playing 82, and now that 5-point gap looking rather difficult. Just 6 arrows left for each of these archers. Chris, what would you think is going to be going through Elisa Baziketto's mind here? She was sort of saying level in that second end, and then the third end, Milanovic pulls out a perfect.
Well, it's all on Milanovic, really. We talked about wanting her to tighten up. She could perform better than those 9 she dropped in the early end. Excellent first 2 arrows in that third, both X's, 3 10s. You know, if you're not perfect, you lose points against that. And what I was saying about Elisa and her executing, she's shooting a hinge style back tension release, and she's coming off very fast. You could see that third arrow, she came off a bit slower and it dropped lower. The reaction on her face, it probably wasn't in the middle when she went. Very difficult to control a hinge style release in a finals arena.
Well, let's see if she's had a chance to regroup, because it's time for end number 4. Important first arrow here for Baziketto. And that is a good arrow, but Milanovic is looking very strong now and only growing in confidence.
9, Amanda. 9, Elisa.
Big contrast between these two archers. A lot of movement from Elisa when she shoots. Very little movement from Amanda Milanovic. Really, really solid form, solid base.
10, Amanda. 10, Elisa. 28.
Well, already up by 1 in this end. Milanovic with a 10 could gain another couple of points here.
10, Amanda.
And it is a 10. Brilliant performance, as Chris was alluding to, coming out of Milanovic right now, leading by 6 points overall.
Unofficially, it's Amanda.
That's an insurmountable lead over the last 3 arrows, really. Milanovic got this one sewn up early. That's not what's on her mind right now. She wants to put in a good performance in this finals arena and close strong, because there's potential in the future from this 19-year-old, this young archer from Croatia.
Yeah, certainly she is looking very strong. You mentioned a solid foundation. Clearly that's a key thing.
Absolutely. You're aiming something very, very small a long way away. Not only are you aiming at something very small with something very small, you're aiming at it through a magnified sight. And any kind of shake when you're aiming, any kind of movement at all, makes combat archery very, very difficult. Not just to aim, to execute as well, and a solid base, a solid foundation, right from feet all the way through up the body to holding the bow. It's necessary if you want to perform at a high level. And Amanda Milanovic really does have a really solid base to her technique.
She certainly does. It will be Elisa Baziketto to shoot first in the 5th and final end. So big ask here, 6-point deficit. But she's shooting first, so chance to put a little pressure on. Good start. Bit of a longer hold, but the result is pretty good. Hasn't been out of the 9s and 10s, Milanovic. Couple of 8s for Baziketto.
10, Elisa. 10, Amanda. 9, Elisa.
Well, I've got a mark down as a 28. So solid finish again. But as you can see,
10,
another perfect from Milanovic. Absolutely brilliant performance from her to take the compound women's gold here at the Veronica's Cup.
total score.
Yeah, it was really a tale of two halves in that match as well. She started okay, Amanda Milnaric, but we expected more. Delivered on the back 9 arrows, tightened that up in the third, 3 perfect 10s, and finished off with another 3 perfect 10s. Fantastic performance in the finals arena from Amanda Milnaric, and she'll really take a lot from that, I think.
Yeah, great performance. As you say, a slightly slow start. You expected a little bit more, but she certainly delivered throughout. But impressive performance from Baziketo as well. She shot a couple of 8s, but she's young and not quite as experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. Not experienced, and the only way to gain experience is by doing it. Coming out into this finals arena, she wasn't the favourite. She knew she was going to be a little bit behind, but she didn't embarrass herself by any stretch of the imagination. This one certainly, though, went to Amanda Milnaric, both in terms of performance in the field and result.
Yeah, we take a look back at some of those brilliant shots. 2 30s in that round, 2 perfect scores. Really took her over the line very comfortably, but more for sure to come from Elisa Baziketo, the young Italian, getting the experience here at the Veronica's Cup. A beautiful backdrop of Kamnich. And now we move straight on to the compound men's gold medal match.
Gold medal match for the compound men. With on target number 1, Nico Wiener from Austria. And on target number 2, Ayas Brenk from Slovenia. And Nico will start at target number 1.
Well, there we have it. Nico Wiener of Austria up against Aljaž Brenk of Slovenia. These two again came through the ranking round as top seeds. Chris, got a favourite here?
Nico Wiener, he is a World Junior Field Champion, threatening to break into the senior ranks and do some damage for a long time. Really shot well earlier this week, only compound man to break 700. Yeah, he's the favourite in this final.
Well, let's get underway. It's time for end number 1.
Nico, 9. Ayas, 10.
Well, a boy on the home soil gets off to the better start.
Nine, Nico.
1 arrow can really set an interesting dynamic for this match. Nico Wiener, the favourite, hitting a 9 early. 2 9s. That starts to dig a hole.
Ayas.
Early chance for redemption. Well, that's 3 9s by the looks of things. Well, called a 10 by the stadium announcer.
Nine, Ayas.
Well, it panned out to just be a single point for the Slovenian, but an unexpected start, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know what target the stadium announcer was looking at. 3 9s from Nico Wiener on the left there. I think it was a good group, but they've just gone high and left. I'm surprised I didn't see him fiddle with his sight a bit more. At the end of the day, the conditions in the finals arena are not the same as the conditions in the practice arena. And anything, wind pressure, light, they can change your group on the target by a couple of centimetres, a couple of inches. I think the reaction needs to be faster. He needs to get into the middle much quicker. I doubt 3 arrows in the same spot in the target are a consistent technique error.
And what about Aljaž Brenk? He looks pretty solid and doesn't look at all nervous about this occasion.
No, I know very little about this young man. Nice to see someone, a new face in the finals arena. Excellent first arrow. I mean, that's when the nerves are supposed to hit you, right? No nerves at all from Mr. Brenk. Straight in there, straight in the 10.
Yep, solid start from him, but it will be Nico Wiener, the favourite, to get us underway for end number 2.
Nico 10.
Better start. Now the pressure switches over to the other side. How will Brink handle this?
9 alias. Nine Nico. 10 alias.
Trading blows in this second end. No one claiming an advantage.
Longer hold. Just dropping down into the 9. I think that's a 29
Nico.
for Vina.
9
And he's
alias.
pulled that one, so a 28 again for Brink. And, well, this time he actually drops a point, having gained one with the same score in the first end, I should say. Chris, some signs perhaps of Nico Vina showing why he's the favourite for this?
And actually, Nico Vina has been fantastic in qualifications for a long time, but his final game probably is what needs improving if he's really going to make a mark on the international archery scene. Coming back in this one, that right arrow, that's that last arrow from Brink is the first we've really seen go right in this match. Really right. I'm wondering if there is a slight breeze right to left down near the target. It could be a bit hidden by the trees and the arena itself.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit more experience from the Austrian is helping him with that. He's drawn a level. It's time for end number 3. Chris Wells, our expert analyst, talked about the groupings being good in the first set for Nico Vina. They certainly were in the second, and a better score for him. How will he start this third?
10 Nico.
Still in the middle of the target. Pressure now on home favourite Aliash Brink.
9 alias. Nine Nico. Eight alias.
Was a longer hold, wasn't it, Chris?
And that's going to dig a severe hole. Love the nuances of technique that make some archers strong. Nico Vina just with a little shake of the arms as he comes into his full draw position.
10 Nico.
And another 29, so 85 for Vina.
9 alias. 29-26.
So a 26 for Brink, finally breaking a little bit more than he had done early on. And it is now a commanding lead for Nico Vina as we clear through 3 ends. Chris, I got one quick question. There's that road behind the targets with vehicles moving on it. Could that have proven a distraction to Aliash Brink on his last arrow?
I severely doubt it. Let's just be clear. The road is quite far in the distance as well. No safety issue there. But Brink, he's he's focused on the target. He's looking through that magnified lens. The peripheries aren't really going to affect him too much at all. He's just loosened up there. He had arrows go high, left, and low. It's all about grouping. It's all about consistency, and he's losing some of his tightness in his shots as we go through this final.
Well, 3 behind, going in to end number 4. Elias Brink to get the fourth end underway, trailing by 3.
Nine, Alias. Ten, Nico. Ten, Alias.
Kovina really starting to look more and more comfortable in this arena.
Ten, Nico.
So got to put some pressure on here. Elias Brink with another 10.
Ten, Alias.
Good finish there. A 29, but Vina on for a perfect. His first of the match.
10,
Oh, brilliantly done as well. Absolutely superb stuff. Now leading by 4 points, as you can see. Chris is just getting better and better.
Absolutely, it was that comfort level at the start. He just wasn't dialed in, wasn't in the middle, but the experience, the talent at the level we saw earlier in the week during qualification. I saw him shoot at 7:13 in really hideous conditions, to be honest. Very, very impressive score coming through now, really starting to tighten those groups up. He's dialed in the right position with his sight, and it's paying off. He's cruising this one now.
He certainly is, but performance of Elias Brink has gone up a notch as well in that fourth.
You know, it's an internal battle with your emotions, with your focus, with your confidence, Archery, especially in the finals arena when you've got people watching you, when you've got cameras on you. It's not easy, and it's all very internal. It's very difficult to see, but the level, the emotional ups and downs of a match, the big swings, and the big swings are what you don't want because they'll affect your scores at the target.
Yeah, well, it's time for end number 5, and it's Brink who's trailing by 4. Big ask at the best of times, but Elias Brink, trailing by 4, just has to put big scores down to put some kind of pressure on the favourite, Nico Vina of Austria. Great start there. Well, dropped a point, but he's got 4 spare. So now Brink on for a perfect.
Nico.
Brilliant finish. Finishes with 3 10s for his first perfect of the match and a 141. You can do the maths. Final arrow from Vina is a 10 to finish on a 29 and a 144 for him. A brilliant win for the Austrian Nico Vina. Has taken the compound men's gold here at the Veronica's Cup.
Yeah, he didn't start fast, but Nico Wiener, he really tightened it up in the third ends, much like we saw from Anna Milnarek in the women's final. Perfect 30 in the fourth, and he's looking more and more confident in the finals arena. If he can shoot like he did in those last 6, 7, 9 arrows for the whole match, he will become a force in the finals arena. And a good finish as well from the home archer, Brenk, 310s. Not what he would have wanted at his home international event, but he can be proud of that finish at least.
Certainly can be, but it's confirmation that Nico Wiener of Austria, who has been the form archer throughout the competition here in Slovenia, is the compound men's gold medal winner. We take a look back over that gold medal match. I can tell you that Stas Modic of Slovenia picked up the bronze medal in the compound men's division, and that's a good finish for the home nation. Well, we're getting ready now to switch our attention to the recurve side of the draw. We've got the recurve women's gold, followed by the recurve men's gold medal match. What brilliant surroundings we have here in Slovenia. Of course, all the new protocols in place to protect everybody from the global pandemic that is COVID-19. So you'll see lots of mask wearing and social distancing. And Chris, how are things going with World Archery's return to the field?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic with our first World Cup stage in Guatemala.
Congratulations. How do you feel about your win?
Well, it's a mission accomplished. I'm very pleased with my score at the finals. I was very nervous at first. I was shaking a bit. I was staying in full draw for a bit longer than usual, which is not so typical for me, but I'm happy it turned out well in the end.
You really tightened up in the third end. What changed?
Like I said, I relaxed a little bit. I wasn't so scared of pressing the trigger, and I got used to the finals venue. That's what I would say.
This is your second win of the season. What's next?
Well, of course I'm hoping for more. I hope for very good results this season, and I'm very excited. I work hard, and I'm just looking forward to all the tournaments that have come back after a 1 year's gap and so on.
Thanks for joining us, and well done. Congratulations. Thank you.
There go the words of Amanda Milnarek, the Croatian winner of the compound women's gold here at the Veronica's Cup. And Chris, you were telling us about the return. Well, obviously, Amanda, they're very happy about the return. Before we come back to you, let's hear from the men's gold medalist.
How do you feel about the win?
Thank you. It was really not my best match, but it was enough to win it, and so I feel very good for it, and so I'm really happy about the win.
Yeah, your start wasn't the best. How did you set?
Yeah, the first two ends was not my best shots. Then I tried to remember how to shot and try to relax, and then, yeah.
Your qualifications were impressive in bad conditions. Did you prefer the weather over today's sunshine?
Maybe I was thinking about the bad weather. Maybe I concentrate a little bit more than about when it's really nice to shoot. So it doesn't matter. You need to shoot in every conditions.
Thank you, Nico, for joining me, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, Nico Wiener there talking about the conditions earlier this week. And third time of trying. Chris, how is the return to archery going?
Yeah, fantastic. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the match.
We will get there in the end. Well, we switch our attention to the recurve division. First up, it's the recurve women's gold medal match. You can see that the two archers are ready to go. Randy Deng of Denmark against Milena Olszewska of Poland. There is Dane and there is Olszewska. So, Chris, any tips on these two?
Both internationals for a long time. Milena Olszewska, a para archer. shot at the Paralympic Games in Rio. I think she shot in London as well. Been around for a long, long time. Great performance from her to make this final. Randy Dane, also experienced member of the Danish team, dropped out of it for a little while recently, but appears to be on the up again.
Yeah, it certainly does. And will there be any specific rule changes here? I mean, clearly, Olszewska will stay on the shooting line.
A bronze medalist from the last Paralympics, actually, she doesn't have to move back and forth over the line. She'll stay there. And para archers compete with able-bodied archers on a level playing field in archery. So she's allowed to use the stool. That's the permission, the assistive device she's classified to use. Otherwise, exactly the same.
Well, it will be Olszewska from Poland to get this gold medal match underway. Shooting over 70 metres in the recurve division. Archers score points within sets. If you win a set, you get 2 set points. That one drifting off into the 8 for Randy Deng, but you've got a good view of how long it takes the arrow to get there compared to the compound archers we saw earlier.
Very impressive start from Milena Olszewska. She is seated, but don't say that gives her any more stability than standing. Not easy to control your body from your waist rather than your feet.
Well, finishing with a 10, 8, 9, and 10 there for Deng with a 27. Will take the first 2 set points. An interesting one there. Deng really finding her way round the target into the 10 in the end.
Yeah, one high, one low, one in the middle, and I said Olszewska started really, really strong. She just sent that last arrow to the left, hit the blue, and then they'll lose it for her. A bit of a shame after starting the set so well, but that's the wonderful thing about the set system and recurve archery. You know, you have one bad arrow, you can wipe it away because it's back to 0 for the second set.
Yeah, absolutely. A completely different tactical game played by the different archers of recurve and compound discipline because of the different ways of scoring. The first 2 set points going to Randy Deng of Denmark. And these two curiously came through the ranking round a little bit lower than one might expect. Olszewska 7th, Dane was 12th, but they've battled their way through to this gold medal match. And it's already time for set number 2. So Milena Olszewska of Poland, trailing by 2 set points, will shoot first in this second set. Had a solid start to the first. Can she see it all the way through the second?
10, Milena.
Olszewska's probably shot the most arrows of any archer competing here. She has had 5 setters in all of her matches, plus a shoot-off. Very resilient archer.
Milena.
Well, that's even better than her first set.
Liner 8 or Randy.
Just dropping the last arrow for a 28 there, but that puts this one out of reach for Randy Dane, and it will be 2 set points all. Dane will still want a good arrow to finish off.
7.
And they're all ending up high and up in the 7s and 8s there for Randy Deng. What a curious set for her, Chris.
Well, you can see a bit of her sight at the end of it, a bit of a strange one, you know, once you've had one high, if you have two high, if you have three high, waiting that long to really make a change is unusual if it is just a sight missetting. I'm very impressed by Milena Olszewska. It's the second set in a row that she struggled on that third arrow. I said she's the most resilient. She shot a lot of arrows, you know. Fatigue, arrow after arrow after arrow does set in, and with the quick timing of the alternate shooting in a finals arena, you don't have time to manage your own shooting rhythm. You just have to go when the timer starts. On point for the first two, but I don't know if that third one is a fatigue issue with the speed of shooting.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting point as we return to archery. These athletes haven't been in proper competition, and there is an added burden when that comes around. Olszewska dropping points in her final arrows in the first two sets. Let's find out how she gets on in set number 3. Milena Olszewska will shoot first again. I saw a little bit of movement there from the Polish archer, and now drifting over to the right into the 7s.
Olszewska wearing her eye patch. That's because she's probably left eye dominant, and she needs to stop that vision coming in from that side to get a proper sight picture.
Could do the 10 to put some pressure on her opponent Dane here. Olszewska with a third arrow, and this time it's the best of the 3, and she gets a 26. Eight to level it. Or 10 gives her a nice lead and 28 points, and now moves back into the lead 4-2 after 3 sets. So Chris,
the scores in set 2 and set 3 for Randy Day are really just a lesson in sight setting. You know, they're pretty much the same group. She was just high in the red for the second set. The third set, she made that adjustment and just brought them all down. Very similar grouping. Looks much prettier in the target and looks much, much prettier on the score sheet.
Well, I was going to lead you into that by saying, well, you mentioned about changing a sight, and it was exactly as you say. But interesting turn of fortunes for Milena Olszewska as well. The third arrow this time in that third set being the best of the 3.
Unfortunately, the first wasn't as good as her previous set, so she'll trade that one to Randy Dane. But if you look at her scores throughout match play, she's up and down, to be honest. She doesn't have consistent set scores, but she has been delivering some good arrows and taking sets when she needs them. Let's see if she can do the same in this one as we get into end number 4.
Milena Olszewska from Poland, trailing by 4 set points to 2, needs to put some pressure on her opponent. Starting with a solid 9. Deng looking like she was coming into great form, but she's dropped that one into the 8s. Olszewska sensing the opportunity. She scores another 9.
Run.
So a 10 to put this out of reach.
9, Milena. 27.
Finishes with 27, so a 10 to draw level on set points and share the set points. Anything less, and we'll be all square again.
9, Randy.
So it is a 9 for her. So a 26 for Dane. And Dane gives up the set points lead that she had. It's 4 apiece. Chris, you sense that there was an opportunity after that very first 8 from Randy Dane, and Milena Olszewska took advantage.
I've been very impressed with Milena Olszewska. I remember in Rio, she didn't qualify particularly high, but yeah, she battled up the brackets and took that spot on the podium. Poland has a very strong para-archery team, and historically quite an active para-archery team. She's obviously on the road to Tokyo as well this year. It's great to see her come and compete at this World Ranking event, try and get some experience ahead of the final qualifier in the Czech Republic in July. And if she can shoot like this, if she can take these opportunities, take these advantages when they're offered in match play, she'll do very well for herself this year.
Yeah, well, she's brought herself level here as we go into set number 5. So Milena Olszewska has fought her way back twice in this match to draw level 4 set points all against Randy Dane of Denmark, but it will be the Pole to shoot first.
Liner 9, Milena.
Well, that could be an opportunity already for Dane.
10, Randy.
And if it was an opportunity, she's taken hold of it. Big arrow now required from Olszewska.
Nine, Milena. 9, Randy.
Well, a 10 would be the order of the day here for Milena Olszewska. She's pulled that out into the 5, though, by the looks of things. So a 22-23. The writing is on the wall here. A great finish from Randy Dane, a 29 in the end, and she takes the RECURVE Women's Gold medal here at the Veronica's Cup, 6 set points to 4. A brilliant match from her and a brilliant match from her opponent, but it was the Dane who took gold. Chris, what an up and down match that was.
Yeah, apart from that second set, though, where Randy Dane shot a 22, it was quite an impressive piece of archery from the Danish archer. Finished with that nice 10-10-9. It was all about moving the group around the face, but I haven't seen Randy Dane shoot this well in match play, probably ever. So fantastic signs for the Danish team, who will look to secure a full team quota to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games at the final qualifier in Paris. At the moment, it's only Maya Jaeger going to the upcoming Olympics. She was the top seed here, but upset in her first match. And instead, it's another Dane, Randy Dane, that takes gold.
Yeah, great performance from her. And as you were talking about the grouping moving for Randy Dane, that's exactly what happened. And there's confirmation that Randy Dane of Denmark is the RECURVE Women's gold medalist here in Slovenia. Yeah, moving the target, the grouping around the face of the target, changing her sighting was clear, as Chris said. But what a performance from Milena Olszewska, getting ready to finish her qualification for Tokyo 2020 and the Paralympic Games.
Yeah, she just had a couple of bad arrows, a couple of sets where she sent one kind of wayward. She just needs to clean that up. She's clearly got the talent and the ability and the confidence to deliver in the finals arena. She shot some great arrows there, some fantastic 10s to start the match in that 4th or 5th set, but she just had one wayward one in each, and it's going to sink her. It's going to sink her in match play if she continues to do that.
Yeah, good performance here, though, to get the silver medal. Randy Dane will be collecting gold a little bit later on. But as you can see, it's already time for the last gold medal match, that of the RECURVE men's division.
And on target number 2 from France, Lou Terrion. The judge in the match is Mecca Vudusek. And on target number 1, Kasper Strijker will start the match.
Here we go. Recurve men's gold medal match. Gasper Straja of Slovenia on home soil. Another opportunity for the Slovenians to get gold at the Veronica's Cup. But he goes up against Lou Tyrion of France. And it will be Straja who will shoot first from target number 1. Chris, do you know much about these two?
Gasper Straja has been around for a long time. I think he had a medal match and indoors in Nimes once, but no real outdoor results to speak of. Lou Tyrion, a new archer in the French team, not one I know of. I think he shot some junior events, but interesting to see how both of these young men perform in the arena.
Good start, and as you can see, a restricted crowd making their delight known. Polite clapping rather than raucous cheering. Looked like wasn't happy with that one, trying to pull it across. An 8 for Tyrion to get his match underway.
10, Kasper. Nine, Lou.
Much longer hold here.
8, Kasper.
And that's the result. So provisional 28 for Straja is already out of reach, and that could actually get marked up.
10,
Again, looking to pull another one, finishing off with a 10 and a 27. So I think one of those arrows will go to a measure, Chris, but a solid start from Straja.
Yeah, that last arrow, he spent a long time at full draw, and he kind of willed it, I think, into the 8. Could have gone anywhere when you've got the tension and building up when you're at full draw that long. But very calm and collected with his first 2 arrows. Obviously, his shooting at home, not going to be an unfamiliar venue to him, but it's still a finals arena. It still matters, and there's still a gold medal at stake.
No, and as you said, ranking points as well. A couple of ranking events to remind you today that we bring you live coverage from this Veronica's Cup in Kamnik in Slovenia, and a little bit later on today it will be our second live broadcast from a world ranking event in Colombia in Medellin. This is the last of the action here in Slovenia. Gasper Straja of Slovenia, 2 set points to nil up against Lou Tyrion. It's time for set number 2.
Nine. Ten, Kasper.
I was doing an interview with 1972 Olympic champion John Williams the other day, and he said there's nothing prettier than seeing that arrow fly and hit the 10. And he's right, Gasper Straja looking solid at full draw, sending one down and getting the maximum.
Nine, Kasper.
So already another big arrow for Lou Tyrion.
8, Lou.
Well, he's pulled that one left for a 25. Another opportunity for Gasper Straja.
Nine, Kasper.
Well, it's more than enough
28-25
for the points, and a 4-set point lead here for the Slovenian. He's looking very solid, Chris.
4 points.
Lou Tyrion, this is going to run away from him. You can see talking with the coach, looking at the focus. I think the execution. That's what she's going to be telling him. Gasper Strayhard, though, very, very confident, very chilled out, very relaxed. I just hope he doesn't relax too much. You know, he's got to keep that tension. He's got to keep that focus, not let things go loose if he wants to take this in 6-6 in 3 sets.
Yeah, absolutely a big possibility for Gasper Strayhard now, and shooting very well indeed. It will be Louis Tillon of France who's got to make a fight back in set number 3. The agents have returned arrows to the archers. Louis Tillon of France came through the ranking round 11th, has battled his way through to this final and finds himself 4 set points to 0 down in the 3rd set. Must have a good start here.
9 blue. 10.
Beautiful shot. That will boost the confidence of Gasper Strayhard. Well, mini opportunity here. Tyrion with a 10 could put a bit of pressure on. Called it an 8. Is it on the line? Saying a 25. Sorry, 26. This could be put out of reach with a 9, no. Oh, it's on the line, and it is indeed a 27 and a straight sets win for Gasper Strayhard of Slovenia. A solid performance throughout, and he looked very strong, even on those couple of occasions when he had a very long hold. Gasper Strayhard has taken gold on home soil in the Veronica's Cup. Chris,
shooting from Gasper Strayhard. He looked strong, he looked confident, he looked calm. Only bit of emotion we saw from him was at the end there, a bit of a fist bump and yeah, a grin as he came off the line, and he should grin. He shot exceptionally well in this final. They're still hanging around. No official announcement of who's won this, but I think it's about to come.
Yeah, I think that's not in doubt. He shot so well throughout, and there is confirmation that the Slovenian has taken gold. It took 4 gold medal matches to put a Slovenian on the top of the podium, and it is Gasper Strayhard who's taken Louis Tillon 6 set points to 0. Brilliant performance. I was going to ask you, Chris, about that beautiful hold that Gasper Strayhard's got. He looked so strong. Those couple of occasions when he was at full draw and held for quite a long time came off pretty well for him.
Yeah, it's funny actually. If you look at Louis Tillon's front hand, he's got a very high wrist, which I've always thought is you know, quite not a weak shot, but it's an easy shot to mess up. You see his angle of his wrist into the bow is quite high, whereas Gasper's got quite a relaxed front hand. He looks very, very, very stable, and he's got long arms. You know, it's my theory that if you have any physical attribute that's going to be good for archery, it's long arms, long fingers, and Gasper Strayhard's got both of those, and putting them to good effect.
You certainly did, taking gold in the recurve men's division here at the Veronica's Cup. We are just waiting for the athletes to get ready for interviews, and here we are, Randy Dane.
Randy, what does this mean to you?
Thank you. It means a lot to me because it's my first win ever. So
you shot some excellent sets, probably one of your best match performances, would you say?
Yes, it was the best.
How much confidence does this gold give you ahead of this important season?
It gave me a lot of confidence. Now I know I can do it.
Great, Randy. Congratulations and good luck with your shooting. Thank you.
Well, beautiful place to get your first world ranking event win. Randy Dane, I think, showing a little bit of emotion there, but it was Milena Olszewska, who impressed in that women's recurve gold medal match. The Paralympic athlete getting ready for Tokyo herself. Randy Deng delighted with her performance. And we're just waiting for local home archer Gasper Strejar from Slovenia for his interview. And here we go.
Well done, Gasper. How does it feel to take gold at your home international?
It feels really amazing. I've been training a lot for this the whole season, so I'm really happy that I shot good and won the competition.
It was a quick win. You looked calm and confident.
Yeah, I was confident, but not so calm, but still, it was enough. I was really confident, so yeah, it was good.
What does this mean ahead of Olympic qualifying?
Definitely we're preparing and definitely aiming for the quota, especially for the medal at the Olympic Games.
Thank you, Gasper, and congratulations.
Thank you. Cool, okay. Yeah.
Brilliant there to hear from the Slovenian Gasper Strejar, who took the recurve men's gold medal here in Slovenia at the Veronica's Cup. The recurve women's gold went to Randy Deng of Denmark. It was compound women's gold for Amanda Milanaric of Croatia and compound men's gold for Nico Wiener of Austria. A brilliant set of matches, gold medal matches here in Slovenia. But Chris, this isn't the first outing of the day for World Archery's live coverage.
Well, we're following up with Medellin in an hour and a half, the world ranking event there. The finals will be broadcasting live. I won't be joining you, Karen. I'm going to say goodbye at the end of this, but thankful to have watched 4 great gold medal matches here in Slovenia.
The voice of World Archery's Chris Wells. Thank you to him for his insight here in Slovenia. As he said, we'll be moving over the Atlantic Ocean to Colombia and the world ranking event in Medellin, which starts at 5 p.m. Central European time. Thanks for joining us here in Slovenia. We're going to take a quick hop over to Colombia. We'll see you there at 5.